Hello, everyone, and we have yet another winner with us. He's Dr. Omkar Joshi, and he has an amazing journey. He secured a rank 42,000 last year in NEET, and this year he has converted it into a brilliant rank of 330. Heartiest congratulations, Omkar, for
Thank you
this
so much.
wonderful achievement, and I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Right? So, how do you feel? But once you have come this far, अभी कैसा लग रहा है?
Like it is still a difficult journey from last year 42,000 when I saw my rank 42,000, but I was still not I was expecting to get it not qualified because I had not studied anything.
Okay.
But still 42,000 was like okay. So when I saw the toppers interviews, everyone was saying okay, one girl had managed from 38,000 to rank 4.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I thought if she can do it, then why not me?
Of course.
So from that's where the inspiration and all started, and then I started everything. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's give it 10 months and let's see where I land up.
I'm great, and I'm
And,
sure अब आपका interview भी ऐसे ही किसी और के लिए inspiration होगा, right? So
yes, ma'am.
that's important. The cycle has to go on. You know, we have
Yes.
to keep the faith going and keep the hope going,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So Omkar, you had a rank of 42,000, and then you decided that you would go for a regular course.
Yeah.
Right, and you've done it from Mumbai Center.
Yeah.
Now I really want to decide कैसे आपने ये सोचा कि this is what is going to be the way forward for you,
Okay. So
because there are a lot of other people who will be in the same boat
yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
So what things to think of when you decide this is what I want you to tell.
Because I think the main preparation of the main strategy of the preparation is like choosing the course first. That is the main first thing which will decide how your preparation will go ahead.
Right.
So when I had got a rank of 42,000, I introspected back like I had already attended foundation of VSAT, but I had only done like 7 to 8 subjects properly with notes.
Okay.
So I knew I had to do 13 more, and then when I went back to the NEET papers and the AIMS papers which were there,
Right.
so I saw the questions and I knew that only mugging up is not going to help. So to see someone else's notes, I am not comfortable doing that. So I need to attend the class myself again. So even if I had to put in more efforts, but I thought it is worth it because I can only understand what I have written.
That is, I think that is a very wise decision, और शायद उससे हम यहाँ तक आ भी पाए, because अगर हम short change करने की सोचते उस वक्त,
Yes.
To take easier exits or easier things which could be more comforting,
Yes.
but they may not be the best
Yeah.
in the end.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
So he's very right, because yes, as he said, he saw the papers and he thought that things are way beyond rote learning. It has to be concepts and application, and that's how he decided that he's going to go in for the regular batch. Okay, now Omkar, I really want to know from you कि जब हम क्लास में बैठे थे, तो what is your strategy there and then for the classes that you did with us in Mumbai?
Okay, actually, I had already attended foundation, so I already sort of knew ki what should I expect from a class.
Okay.
But still, I had not done it very correctly in the foundation. So I saw one of Sumer sir's videos. So in that he told enter the class with an empty mind. So that is what I thought ki okay, let's think that I do not know anything about radiology. So everything that I know is going to be taught to me in the next 3 days from Sumer sir. So that is how I went to every class. I listened patiently to each and everything what Sumer sir, every faculty had to tell. So I even noted down the explanations which were given by the faculty, because we tend to somehow miss out those points while we go home and then read it on ourselves. So that is why I thought I should write down those explanations also, because that will help ahead in revision also.
Yes.
Because what happens after like 6 or 7 months, you do not know why you have written this line. Sometimes this happens because there's so
Yes.
much of volume to read.
That's true.
So that is why I thought ki those brackets helped me a lot in that preparation. And I think whatever the learning that happens, I think mostly it happens in the classroom itself, because you are totally focused on what the teacher is teaching. It is like a good interaction between the two of us. Like he is giving us some information, we are learning it, we are writing it down by ourselves, and then it becomes sort of a procedural memory. Ki okay, I have attended this class, so it comes back to you whenever it is needed in all the exams.
That's great.
So that was my approach.
I think ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात बोली है ओमकार, because you know there is a example of this as well, that empty mind is a very important concept, and only that lets you sit in the class mindfully as well.
Yes.
So you know there is this example which is that there is a student and he goes to his teacher and says, okay, I know this much, now you tell me something so that I can go from here to here.
Yeah.
So this child or student is full of ego that he knows this, and now he wants some more information that you know is required to go above a level. So
Yes.
the professor says, okay, go bring a glass of water.
Yeah.
So there is a full glass of water, and now that professor starts pouring more water.
Yeah.
And the student says that you're so silly, you don't know that all the water is spilling out. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yes.
So he said, this is what you expect me to do. You have
Yes.
already come full mind with me. You're already full of yourself
Yes.
to me, and now even if I pour more information, it
Yeah.
will do no good to you.
Yeah.
So this is a very important concept of being empty minded, coming to a classroom so that you imbibe maximum. And as he said, most of the learning will happen in the class. The clinical examples, the
Yes.
case scenarios, the vignettes, the integration that you would do, you know,
Yes.
those cases will keep coming back
Yes.
to you.
Yes. Definitely.
So I think सबसे अच्छी बात तो यही है, how you decided and mindfully आपने जो class attend किया है,
Yes.
उससे काम आसान हो जाता है.
बहुत आसान हो गया.
Okay, and now I also want to ask you, ओमकार, कि बहुत सारे बच्चों को नहीं समझ में आता how to go about it during the class itself. So when you've done the class, when you come back, were you reading your notes on the same day, or what efforts were you doing from your side as well?
Actually, when the classes, suppose there's a class got over, which is like Sunday, suppose it is there today, and suppose it is a big subject. So sometimes we tend to get tired, like I cannot
Yes.
read everything. So frankly, I did not read every time when I went back home.
Okay, okay.
But if there's some connecting class, suppose it is Saturday today, and so Sunday some teacher is going to teach something that is related to yesterday's class. So even if I'm tired, I used to take like, okay, 1 hour break I'll take for dinner, but then I'll just go through whatever has been taught, like in half an hour, one quick review of the
Fair enough.
this thing, so that I do not get lost on the
Yes,
next day ki
very
what has been taught previously, and then I don't remember, so I cannot connect.
Yes.
So that is what I think helped me also to retain the class in its entirety.
आई थिंक वेरी नाइस. और ये बहुत प्रैक्टिकल और सच्चाई से बता रहा है कि सब में नहीं कर पाया, मगर हाँ, एंड आई थिंक इट्स अ गुड, दैट्स अ गुड थिंग टू थिंक ऑफ कि जहाँ पे आपको लग रहा है कि अगली क्लास कनेक्टेड है, वहाँ ज़रूर आप एक रीडिंग करके जाइए, सो दैट यू कैन आस्क योर डाउट्स.
Yes.
The related things keep, you know, they fall into track, and you can put the pieces together, and
Yes.
you're not lost in the class itself. So
Yes.
fair enough, wherever you can and you feel that
Yeah.
it's a associated class, you should definitely do it.
Yeah.
At other places, the teacher will try and
Yeah.
bring out the things from the
Somewhere
other
or the
subjects.
other in the discussion, the teacher himself, because if it is a 4-day class, yours was a 4-day class, so
Right.
every time you cannot have the same energy level. So
Yes.
even you know, you have been such a teacher for such a long time, so everyone knows ki, so then you will bring it up in some form or the other in the discussion
Yes,
itself.
it has to be reinforced, and that is
Yes.
why sitting and making your own notes always helps.
Yes.
Right. And Omkar, I also want to know, बच्चे, कि आपको क्लास के बाद we used to give you a class test.
Yes.
Right? Were you doing that consistently?
Yes, like I have done all the class tests. There's not
Okay.
even one left in my login
That's
account.
wonderful.
So I think the class test, like the post class 1 week that you plan, is very crucial in those first 6 months. So I'll just briefly tell,
Please go ahead.
like
yes.
how to
That's
go
why
about.
you're here, right?
Yeah, so just how to go about that 1 week. So roughly you get around 5 to 6 days to get done with whatever the subject has been taught. So my focus was, I collected whatever the resources that I have. Primary was always the notes, second one being the DQB, the third one being the class test,
Okay.
and fourth one, if I could manage some of the here there the previous papers whatever were there.
So you made a good selection, at
Yeah.
least for your first reading.
Yeah, so I knew I had to cover at least these in the 5 days of the week that I have, because the
Right.
next class will be coming up again. So what I used
Very
to
good.
do,
So I think the classes also give you targets then.
yes, I think that was the main use of the class, that it gave me weekly targets. Okay,
Yes.
so I can do this.
नहीं तो खुद से अपने आप घर में बैठकर ऐसे कर
yeah.
पाना इज वेरी
It is
डिफिकल्ट.
very
आपको लगेगा
difficult.
चलो एक हफ्ता और ले लेते हैं,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you keep deferring things.
Yeah, and this generally happens with big subjects like obs, gynae, medicine, surgery. So you need to have a time bound
Deadline.
this thing. So that is how it helped me. So I primarily read the notes like first 2 days. Then used to mix and match with the DQB, whatever is there. So
Okay.
in DQB you get some amount of extra information which I used to add, like always at the end of the copy of the notes. I used to leave 4 to 5 blank pages.
Okay.
And then I used to write add to notes as a heading करके.
अच्छा.
I used to add points from DQB. I used to add
और
points
first
from
reading में ही
CET.
कर लेते थे.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go back to the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
things again and again.
So that I used to do. So and always on the DQB also I marked the questions for bookmark.
Yes.
So
The
I
ones
knew,
that you've done wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I knew what I had to revise after September or October
Perfect.
maybe.
So very good. अगर आप realize करें तो देखो बहुत अच्छी बात इस बच्चे ने बोली कि ये जो भी कर रहा था, whatever he was doing it with one thing in mind, that how will he do the same thing when he has to revise?
Yes.
And this is what all of us have to learn, that whatever we are reading, you have to understand that this eventually has to be revised, not once, twice, multiple times. So you do it like that and you put it like that so that you can revise it multiple times.
Yes.
Okay.
So what I used to do is I used to make one whole copy of one single subject. So then when I have to revise, because I always believed that if you have multiple things to revise in the end, then you cannot finish everything.
True.
So just I used to compile everything in one material. So that was my main goal in the first 6 months which I had for the class attending and then reading it by myself.
Perfect.
So that was the main goal कि I should compile everything. ऐसा ना हो कि end में जाके मुझे बहुत कुछ ढूंढना पड़ रहा है.
बिल्कुल.
So that should not happen. So wherever I needed, I used to put sticky notes somewhere or the other in the corner of the page. Okay, this faculty had said in this explanation or somewhere in the class. So I used to put it down there. So but like I also want to tell everyone that not putting everything and ऐसा खिचड़ी नहीं बनाना है notes का.
बिल्कुल.
The primary notes what teacher has taught should remain as it is. Whatever you have to add, you can put in A4 sheets between the pages.
This is something that I always consistently tell the students to do.
Yeah.
कि primary notes को dilute मत करो. वो इतने dilute हो जाते हैं कि समझ ही नहीं आता कि you know आपने क्या डाला है और टीचर ने क्या पढ़ाया और कौन सी चीजें most likely to be asked हैं.
Yes, yes. So whatever the teacher taught me, I also many of the teachers just tell me or they put a question mark or Q or somewhere around the concept which has been taught.
Yes.
So then we know, okay, this is important. So, and then those red highlighters and everything that you know, ki this you have to revise. This is the most high yielding thing.
Yes.
So this I have to revise before the exams.
Okay.
Otherwise, if we put in everything together, then again it happens the same thing, that material is so much, but you don't know what to read again.
True.
Yeah.
So that is very important. Compilation at one place and being confident of what you have as your primary source is very important. Otherwise, you'll keep fetching for more and more information.
Yes.
Right. So, or I also want to ask you, Omkar, how regular were you with grant tests?
Actually, I was initially very skeptical about giving grant tests for
That is
because
why I
of
asked
the
this question, because everybody is.
because of the fear that I may not score that well or somewhere like that. But then I saw again the toppers interviews and everyone told the same thing, that even if you're not doing well, just start giving grant tests from April or May itself.
Yes.
So my last year NEET 2019, I had got I think 135 questions correct.
Okay.
So I
you
knew
your
that is
baseline.
why that is what is my baseline.
Right.
So whatever
Very
first
important.
grant test I'm going to do after this, like 2-3 months, like NEET happened in Jan and first grant test I gave in May.
Okay.
So what I knew, be it any score, but it has to be above 135 because I'm adding information in myself. So it has to improve somewhere above 135.
So where did you go?
So I touched 152 in
Very
May.
good.
So then I knew, okay, this hard work is paying off little by little, but it is accumulating.
Yes.
So I need to go on by this strategy. So then I had Sachin Arora sir's class.
Okay.
So I had a very good interaction with him throughout the entire year, and he was like a savior for me for the entire year. So what he told me in the class was, you just give grant tests every month and improve by 10 questions from the previous month.
Right.
So that was my aim till each and every grant test. And so happened I started from March with 135 and in this NEET I got 235. So 10 months, 10 questions.
तो अब मुझे ये बताओ कि ये करा कैसे?
What I used to do is after suppose I'm attend like Sachin sir, what he told me in grand test, what you have to do is like you have to give the grand test in the morning without any distractions, without phone, without anything, like
Very
anything should
important,
not
without
bother you.
phone, right?
Yeah, anything should not bother you. Just think as if it is the real exam, and make it a conducive environment. Okay, so this is like my final exam. Whatever I'm going to do is in this exam itself. So every grand test has to be attempted in such a way.
Yeah.
So in the morning I used to give grand tests, and the main thing in grand tests is it is again a 3.5 hours test like the real exam.
Yes.
But what I used to do is I used to set a target for myself as 2 hours 45 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, this is when I'm going to finish the grand test, because you never know the exam anxiety, you know, at
That's
the
going to happen
D-day.
yes.
So that is
absolutely.
going to take some amount of time, and then it will hamper your review time of the questions.
And I think this year was a typical example
Yes.
of such a session.
Yes, so I used to practice that way from the start itself, and I think that helped me in the end very much, because even though it was a lengthy paper, but I could finish it in 3 hours.
That's wonderful. And you still had time for
Yes, review questions.
Review questions.
So in the morning I used to do the grand test very thoroughly, like 3 hours or maximum 3 hours I used to give for every grand test. Then I used to take a 1 hour break,
Okay.
and then to be frank, I never utilized the PDF solutions, because I always believed, okay, I have to watch video solutions.
And I was going to ask you this thing, and it does, believe me,
Yeah.
it makes a lot of difference when you go through the video solutions.
Yes, because the teacher not only tells the answer of the question, but the teacher also explains why this is not the answer, why
Yes.
this is not
How
the
to
answer.
approach.
Yes,
And a few crucial things around that.
yeah. So a single MCQ gives you around 5 to 6 MCQ at the same time in one question.
Yes,
So
it
that
does.
is what I think was most rewarding, and that is why I never utilized actually PDF solutions. I always
I'm glad you did that.
yeah, because even if there was a time crunch, I knew this is going to reward me sometime or the other.
So you were very sure of things that will definitely make a difference.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now something that I think जब मैं सुन रही हूँ तो मुझे मन कर रहा है पूछने का, क्योंकि कुछ बच्चे भी शायद पूछें. Did you make a separate notes copy for your grand test?
Yeah, also about this, I had heard from some faculty only कि make one book for a grand test. So I had given like 4 to 5 pages for every grand test का subject. Like suppose
Okay.
anatomy, I have given 5 pages.
Okay.
So whatever the grand tests give me, like 10 grand tests, whatever anatomy questions I get from
So
that.
you were putting them at one
Yeah,
place.
so one place. So I also had the mistakes in my one place, and whatever
Great.
added to the notes
हाँ
जो
तो
भी
मैं यही
होता
पूछ
था.
रही थी, उसमें क्या डालते थे, जो गलतियां करी और जो एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन था?
हाँ, like उसमें what I used to do is like I used to divide questions on 2 bases. Like one thing that somewhere or the other you will never know from any of the question. Even in NEET, you will not know some of the questions
Yes.
anytime.
It's a competitive
So
exam.
yeah, so that I used to add because it is not taught anywhere. So it is like a form of new information to me. So I used to add that. Plus I used to, whatever I used to mark something wrong or mark for review, even mark for review questions, I used to add the explanation.
Okay.
Because you never know अभी
Whether
तुम्हें
your
याद.
approach was right or
Yeah,
not.
because
Yeah.
sometimes it happens that
Great.
by fluke you get the correct answer, but
I
it
know.
may not help in the final exam.
True, true.
So luck may not play its role in the final exam also. So that also I used to add, okay, this is what my thought process was. I used to add my thought process also on that corner of the page. Okay, this was my
This is how
flow
you
chart.
approached
Yeah,
it.
this was my
Yeah.
thinking for the question, and this is how the faculty is telling.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
So
that
you did
is
a lot
what-
of hard work on
yeah.
managing your wrongs, and I
Yes,
think
yes.
that's what has led to the increase in your number of correct
Yes,
questions.
yes.
And I'm glad that is quite intricate and quite dedicated work onto your negatives,
Yes, thank
which
you.
is wonderful. और बेटा, when did you start using the SWTs? Because ये भी regular बच्चों के doubts होते हैं.
Yes, yes.
See, with the regular course, you're getting a lot of material. So
Yes,
you have to
correct.
know what you're going to utilize when. So अभी तक अगर मैं summarize करूँ, he definitely used the DQB and the class test and the notes for the first reading.
Yes.
He added grand test in May, and now he will tell us about what about
Yeah,
the
so,
subject wise test.
My first reading got ended around in mid-September.
Okay.
So again, everything like my plan of action was everything dependent on you people.
Okay.
So whatever you used to tell, I used to follow it blindly. I did not question even a single thing what Dams has told me.
And I think I can vouch for it because he's been a very interactive child. He's
Yeah.
been associated with us. He used to message us.
Yeah.
और वो अपने सारे doubts पूछता था और shy out नहीं करता था. I should say that ये सबको करना चाहिए. अगर आप आपको लगता है कि आस्किंग अ फैकल्टी इज गोइंग टू मेक अ डिफरेंस, तो आप करिए. आप ये मत सोचिए कि दूसरी तरफ से क्या होगा, आपके बारे में क्या सोचा जाएगा. यू मस्ट go and ask your doubt, and on that point I would ask you, Omkar, were the faculty prompt enough to reply to your queries?
Yeah, the faculty, even you have replied so many times, like within, I know how busy you people are, but still you used to manage it within a day or two maximum. That was the maximum time limit that everyone used to message. Even some of the teachers are given WhatsApp numbers. So how more well connected you can be with your faculties. So
and
this was the
that's
best.
important, because you need that kind of cushioning in this stressful phase, and and you know, your parents give one kind of cushioning and your teachers give the other kind of cushioning.
It was just like both of the families merging together, the family support, and whatever your faculties are giving us as a support and interacting with us.
Okay, so you were telling us about SWTs.
Yeah, so about SWTs, I finished my first reading around in mid-September or something.
Okay.
So after that also I still gave myself 4 to 5 days to do the mop-up of whatever I have not done in those 6 months, because somewhere or the other something gets left out.
Yes.
So I gave another 5 days here, okay, I have to do this. So by 20th September I had started with revision.
Okay.
So then what I did was I used to give the SWTs like after a brief review of the notes, like not reading in its entirety but just going through
Quick
it.
review.
Yeah, so after that I had to give the SWT. Then I used to again revise the notes, and while doing the revision of the notes I used to see the solutions of the SWT. Again, there also I have always utilized the video solutions.
Okay.
So that is how I complemented the notes with the SWTs, because I think both of them together go hand in hand. Like,
and I think his strategy is very very nice. जैसे जैसे टाइम आगे जा रहा था ओवर द ईयर, वो एक नई चीज ऐड कर रहा था अपने रिवीजन के लिए. तो पहले नोट्स DQB और क्लास टेस्ट रखा, फिर GT ऐड कर लिए, फिर रिवीजन में अब SWT भी ऐड कर लिए, which is a very very good and a graded approach, because it gives you new material but yet things that are required for the exam.
yes,
Because you know, SWTs would contain previous 5-year questions. They would cover the trend of the current pattern questions.
Correct.
So that is how it is. अच्छा, and ये वाली रिवीजन आपने कब तक करी? DVT तक?
yes, my landmark was like all the landmarks I had set was according to DVT or either CBT.
Yes.
So my revision was till okay till CBT. I'm going to manage my first revision along with the DVT or whatever the notes you have given.
Okay.
So that was my first landmark. So around 35 days was the cycle. Okay, this was the time I had given for first revision, and then I attempted the CBT.
Okay. And how well did you do in the CBT?
So actually in CBT 2 I had a rank of like 1600, and in CBT 3 when I did a very thorough preparation, my rank came down to 40 now.
Wonderful. So did it give you a lot of confidence?
Yeah, it gave me a lot of confidence and like boost up for the AIMS exam and whatever the Central Institute exams were coming up in the month of November.
Great.
Yeah.
चलो फिर बताओ कि सेंट्रल इंस्टीट्यूट्स के बाद आपके पास दिसंबर का टाइम था, थोड़ा सा नवंबर का दिन और दिसंबर, and how did you plan your revision then?
Like after like AIMS, I had done preparation quite centered to AIMS also, because it was my one of the dream to okay I'll get into AIMS, but like AIMS के लिए भी preparation, I just want to tell everyone that it is like the same thing. It is not, it is just a different exam, like name different है.
बहुत जरूरी, नहीं तो लोग बोलते हैं इसकी तैयारी अलग है उसकी अलग है, ये मत करो.
Yeah, the packaging is different but the main content is exactly the same.
Agreed.
So I had done like before CBT I had done my first revision, then for till November AIMS I had done my second revision, and in that I added the AIMS capsule and the whatever the extra material up from the AIMS point of view, the updates that faculty used to put. So that I added on those last 15 days before the AIMS exam, and I think that also helped me in AIMS exam.
And how did you perform?
AIMS actually I had got a rank of 287
which
in
is
AIMS
very
exam.
good. So you've been very close, and I think वो consistency दिख रहा है ना?
Yes. And after that there were like 15 days or 13 days left for PGI exam. So in PGI many people are, even your faculty had told us ki, okay, there are 5 subjects: Obs, Gynae, Surgery, Medicine, Biochem and Patho.
Yes.
So I knew in these 13 days I'm going to revise these 5 plus whatever I am weak in.
Great.
So again that rewarded me in PGI, and then there I got a rank of 156.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think एक चीज ध्यान से सुनो, ओमकार ने क्या किया है, अपनी बेसिक स्टडी को चेंज नहीं किया है, बट हाँ क्लोज टू अ पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम, जैसे एम्स आ गया तो 15 दिन पहले ही डिड थिंग्स विच आर स्पेसिफिक टू एम्स, फिर एम्स के बाद पीजीआई तो देन ही डिड थिंग्स विच आर स्पेसिफिक टू पीजीआई, बट द बेसिक कोर कंटेंट was something that he was continuously doing right up till September as well, right?
Yes.
So very, very important. This is something that we also tell you कि ऐसा नहीं है कि you have to prepare something different for central institutes. It's the same thing. But yes, 15 to 20 days before the exam, you can start doing specific material, topics, subjects and previous year papers. Wonderful. So strategy सही रही इसका मतलब.
Yes, ma'am. And
Great.
then
और last lap revision का कैसा रहा?
So first December was the CBT, so that was my landmark for at least 2.5 revisions, the half being the 4-5 big subjects for PGI.
Right.
So 1st December was the landmark again. So now I had like 30 or 27 days I had planned. Like 28th was the landmark I had set. Ki okay, this time I am going to finish my revision. So I had planned 2 revisions in last 1 month.
Okay.
Like 15 days and one of 12 days. Because in last 1 month what happens is if we try and cover everything, to nahi hoga. So you have to read very, very selective parts of your notes, and that is where making good set of notes comes into picture. So if you mess up the notes, then those last 1 month is going to be very challenging.
And वो सबसे important हो जाता है. It's like the final push, right?
Yes.
So great. And then you landed up here, so which is amazing. So the timelines, the strategy and everything is very clear, and in fact I also learned a lot sitting with you, and you know, this is great. And now something about the paper that you want to tell us about. आपने कितने attempt किए, और this one was different from the previous one.
Yes.
So do you think there are certain specific things that you need to do,
like,
or anything that you want to comment on the paper?
The paper, I had not expected such a paper like that, but I think DAMS had predicted like very well in advance, because in DVT, your session, I remember, everything was clinical related, nothing was direct, okay, this is one liner, nothing was sort of that. So those clinical vignettes that you showed us in DVT, like, it came to help. And then when I saw the first question of anatomy, it was a very clinically oriented question. It was somewhere related to episiotomy, and then the which nerve gets injured. So it was a big question, but still I think I could manage that, because I had a practice of doing such questions right from the beginning.
Right.
So, and my time management of the GT also helped me here.
Yes, because some people really got stuck up with the time.
Because
and that's not a nice thing. You're not able to attempt the questions.
Correct. And Deepak Arora sir, I remember his was his first class in Mumbai. So he had told us an approach to such big lengthy questions. So what I used to tell me.
So this means right from the first class we were predicting that this is going to happen.
So Deepak Arora sir told us that if it is a big question, first read the last line of the question. What exactly are they expecting from you? So then you read the choices. Then you know कि you have to restrict your thinking only to these 4 choices.
और ये कितने simple examples हैं. I think एक आपका question था metabolic acidosis पे. तो अगर आप शुरू से करोगे तो आप सोचते रहोगे acidosis है, alkalosis है, metabolic है. In the end you realize उन्होंने already बता ही रखा है, and they're asking something else only. So very important how to, you know, these little hints that teachers give in the class go a long way later on.
So I thought even if the paper is difficult, but I knew somewhere or the other that everyone is going to manage. I think some of the important questions everyone is going to get, and जो एकदम difficult questions होते हैं, I knew कि कोई भी नहीं कर पाएगा, even the rank one will not be able to do it maybe.
That's right.
So I had a very aggressive attempt approach right from the beginning. So every time I attended a GT also, I used to attempt more than 290 questions. So in NEET I attempted 289 questions, and then 235 I got correct out of those.
That's wonderful. और कुछ subject preference है NEET में?
I don't think NEET really has a subject centered approach like central institutes, but you have to have a sound knowledge of everything, be it a minor subject, be it a major subject.
That is why I asked this question, because so otherwise people have this bias कि ये नहीं आता और वो नहीं आता. So because it is an integrated paper, आपको पता भी नहीं लगेगा. तो शुरू लग रहा होगा सर्जरी से है, मगर खत्म it might be just finishing at anatomy. Right, so that's wonderful. And now Omkar, I think हमने काफी बार बीच-बीच में आपकी preparation का gist दिया है. So now anything motivating that you want to say to your to people who are listening out to you?
Like I used to watch Sumesa's videos only for motivation, because in our prep cycle there will be ups and downs. किसी का भी ऐसा approach नहीं होगा कि okay everything is going good, everything for the entire year ऐसे नहीं होगा. So there will be ups and downs. So you just have to manage those ups and downs. The only difference difference, I think, from a top 500 or top ranker and the people who did not get rank is the mindset which is different.
Yes.
So if you manage that mindset, and I think NEET is only a mind game. So if you can persist for those 10 months of preparation, then I think anybody can do it. And if I can come from 42,000, so why not you?
That's great. Yes, and that is the reason why you are here.
Yeah.
To make people realize that, you know, a single exam not going well doesn't mean that you can't change or turn tables around, right?
Yeah.
So all you need is a dedicated work in the right direction with the right content. Yes.
And one line I want to add, that one of the series, I don't know how many people watch it, but there's a series called Suits.
Okay.
So in that there's a character called Harvey Specter. So he has made a line in some of the season like, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Yes.
In real life it is never possible. So that was my thing. I was ready to put in any much amount of hard work, but I knew I had to get there and I have to be in the studio someday.
So now you're here. Yay,
Yeah.
you made it happen. So this
Yes.
is great, and we are absolutely happy to be a part of your journey. And you know, this brings a lot of faith in the teachers as well, that you know, we can make this happen for students, right? So thank you so much for coming here today, Omkar, and it was an absolute pleasure to have you here to listen to your journey, your strategy, and as I said, I've learned a lot as well, and I hope I'm able to help out more people with your strategy. So we wish you all the very best. And
Thank
what
you so
branch do you want
much.
to pursue?
I want to pursue MS General Surgery.
Yes, we have a surgeon in the being, and I'm sure he's going to be a great surgeon, right? Best wishes for a super bright future ahead.
Thank you so much.